Hello, today we are gonna work with EC2. In this lab, we want to take a basic overview of EC2 instance, like launching, resizing, managing, and monitoring. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud or Amazon EC2 is a web service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. It is designed to make web scale cloud computing easier for developer. Amazon EC2 reduces the time required to obtain and boot new server instance to minutes, allowing you to quickly scale capacity both up and down as your computing requirement change. So because of that, the name is Amazon Elastic Compute Service, EC2. And after completing this lab, we should be able to following some step that we would be do here. So first of all, I gonna open my AWS. That one is my lab. I open AWS. The first step is launch an instance. We go to the services or we have EC2 here. I can click on EC2 here or I can go to the services and search EC2. I prefer choose EC2 from the first page and we choose the and we wanna create EC2, so we have to launch instance. For the launch instance, we should be sure that we are in the right region. I wanna create my EC2 in the Virginia, so I'm the correct region. So I launch instance. The first part is put the name. So I wanna put the name for that one as a web server. Oops. Web server. And then with the name and tag. What is the name and tag? We can use a tag for for category or AWS resource in different ways. We can search the after that we create EC2 or Elastic Compute Cloud. We can search them with their name and or they tag. Here right now the name and tag is the same and I put the web server. And then in the next step we have to choose the OS image. I want to leave it with Linux. I don't want to change it. And then I don't want to change any things regarding to the OS. And for the instance type, I want to keep it T2 micro. After that, I create a EC2. I can change the type of in my instance, and I will show you um, in this lab how we can change it. So, and then in the key pair, I wanna choose the default that is the WO key. The WO key help us to connect to the secure SSL, and when we wanna use a key. For example, Amazon is to use public key cryptography to encrypt and decrypt login information. To ensure that we will be able to log in into the to the guest OS of the instance that we created, we identify an existing key pair. So with this key pair, we would be identified to, to can connect to other EC2. Or I can create a new key pair, but I prefer put that key pair that I had. In the next step, networking setting, I want to change it to something else. I don't want to use the default, so I put the edit and then I want to use the lab VPC and for the subnet, it's a public subnet. I don't want to change it to anything. And then the next step for the firewall, I want to use the create a security group. To create security group, I want to put the new name. The name, I want to put that web server security group. Web server security group. And description, I want to put the same things. Now I want to put that something else like security group for my web server. Okay. And then we see there is a policy for the inbound security. I wanna remove it. In the inbound security, there is a policy that I don't wanna use that policy. I don't wanna use the SSH to connect to the port 22. So I remove it. And after that, I will create the my rule. The next step of creating EC2 is configure storage. So I want to keep it the same, the default, but we can change the size of the storage every time that we want. After that, we create EC2. So right now I keep it the same as a default, and then advanced detail. We have an advanced detail. I want to open it. I expand it. In the advanced detail, I don't change anything, just for the termission protection. Yes, just for the termination protection, I wanna choose enable. And everything's the same. And then I wanna scroll to the bottom of the page and paste the code that I have in the lab into the user data. So in our lab, I have to go to the step 16 and copy this code. So when we launch an instance, we can pass user data to the instance that can be used to perform automated installation and configuration tasks after the instance start. So what we have here in this editor code, that one install an Apache web server that it shows here, and then configure the web server to automatically start the boot and run the web server once it has finished installing, and then create a simple web page. This is the information of the web page that after that after we create the EC2, we set some things, and we can see this page. Anyway, we launch the instance. Okay. We can view instance. Let's see what we have here. View all of the instance. We create a web server and it's here. It is still initializing, so we have to wait until it finish and it become ready to use. So I wanna stop the video because it takes a little time. So my instance state back to running, and it passed the check. Okay. In this level, I wanna monitor my instance. Let me click on the instance. I have to choose it, and then I wanna choose the status and alarm. I wanna go to status and alarm and a status check. Open this one. Sorry. Okay. So in the state check, we have some metric. We choose the monitoring tab that is here, and that we choose it, and we can see the status check or fail for system or any. Let's see, wait, fail. It shouldn't fail. Maybe. So there is no data available, maybe because we just create our instance. Because of that, there is no data, or and sometimes it takes time to show the alarm or show our monitoring. But anyway, in the monitoring tab, it display the Amazon Cloud Watch metrics for our instance. And currently there are not many metrics to display because the instance was recently launched. And we can choose a three dot icon to any graph, and we can select enlarge to see and expand a view of the chosen metric. Let's do that. Mm, Okay, so we are in the status, and in the metric we can choose we can um, uh, we can choose three dot that is here and put it on large, and like, we can see it clear with the different size. And we can, for example, choose in 15 minutes what happened, and or we can monitor it. And as I mentioned earlier, this tab display Amazon Cloud Watch metric for our instance. And then we can choose the in 1 minute we can monitor, or in the metric, or we can play with this graph, and we can find what we need and what we can put in the monitor and see from our instance. So we can close it, and in the action menu, so we have to choose our instance, and in the action menu, monitor and troubleshooting, we select monitor and troubleshooting, that is here. Get system log. We go to the get system log, and we see that the system log display the console output of the instance, and it shows our all of the log. And it is especially useful for troubleshooting kernel problems and the service configuration issue that could cause an instance to terminate or become unreachable before its SSH daemon can be started. So we wanna scroll through the output, and we see that HTTP package was installed from user data. Yeah, I'm gonna choose cancel because we don't wanna work right now with that one. And then we should ensure that web servers are still selected. Yes, that is selected. And then in the action menu, we select monitor and troubleshooting again, and get instance a screenshot. This time we choose this one, and this shows we watch our Amazon EC2 instance console, and would like if a screen were attached to it. If the screen was attached to it, it was something like that. It looks like this one. And so yeah, I'm gonna close this one and go to the next step and next tags, that we want to update our security group access to the web server. At the at the when we create our EC2, we create a security group, but we didn't change it exactly. So right now I want to update some information. Mm, So we should be sure that we choose web server, and then we should go to the tool, the tab detail, and in the tab detail we copy public IPv4 address, that is here. Uh, let's find IPv4. It should be here. So we are in detail. We wanna find our web address Sometimes it is in front of my eye, but I cannot see. It should be here. IPv4. Where is the IPv4 address? We should copy. Oh, it's here. Sorry. Okay. Public IPv4. I copy this address and I create a tab and I paste it here and enter. I hope it goes to the website web that we put some code in the previous step. So in the past step, so that one shows that. So we put some information regarding one HTTP page. And we just want to test, okay, this site cannot be reached. Definitely, we couldn't go because we don't set any policy that let anyone to go to that page. So what we should do, we should go to our EC2 console tab and let's go to EC2. In the left, in the left panel, in the left navigation pane, we choose security group. We have to find the security group. Networking and security group. And in the security group, we should choose a web server security group that we created in the previous page, when we created EC2, and choose inbound rules. Here we are in the inbound rule, and the security group currently has no inbound rule. If we go there, we can see there is nothing here. So we have to edit inbound rule and add rule. What rule we gonna add? We have to add HTTP that we can connect to that page. We go to the HTTP and then source anywhere IPv4 and then choose save rules. And we have to return, we go to the web server, to the web server tab that we previously opened and refresh the page. We go there. Right now we should see, oh yes, we see our web. Okay. The next step is we want to resize our instance type and EBC volume. We go to our EC2 uh, so we can let's go to our EC2 that we created. So the name was web server. So we need to change or maybe find our instance in overutilized. Maybe it's too small or it is underutilized or maybe it's too large. So we can change the instance type. For example, if it is a 2T2 micro instance and it's too small, and we can work on it and change it to the other things, for example to M5 medium instance, and we can change the size. Right now I want to tell you how we can change the size of our instance. First of all, we have to stop our instance because we want to work on it. So we choose web server and on the action, oh no, instance status, instance state, we put the stop, we press on the stop and stop the instance. So we have to wait until it is stop, it is stopping. Okay. And then right now, we have to wait until it becomes stop and become ready. Red. The color changed to the red. I wanna stop the video and then after it stop and start again. Okay, it becomes stopped. I can start changing the instance type. So first of all, we have to go to the action and we choose action menu and choose the instance setting. In the instance setting that we have here, we choose the change instance type. Because we want to change the size, we choose the change instance type that is here. Right now our instance type is T2 micro. I want to change it to the other things. So we go, I change it to T2. Maybe I want to choose the T2 small. It's here. Okay, I type a T2 small and then choose apply. Go down, change. Okay, and it change. So we changed the instance type. It wasn't hard, but we have to know where is the menu, which one we should do, which one we should choose. And right now we select the web server instance and then action menu. And let's see. Hmm. I should say when we stop the instance shut down, and when we later start instance, it is typically migrate to a new underlying host computer and assign a new public IP version 4. So right now I wanna do some changes for for a stop protection. For example, if I go to the action and for the instance type, for the instance setting, sorry, change stop protection. If I put a change stop protection, select enable, I active change stop protection. Why we need it? So it help us to prevent accidentally stop the stop accidentally we stop or start our EC2 or our instance. So right now, if we go to the action and sorry for the instance, we can see as when we put a start instance. Right now we successfully started, but if we go there and we want to stop, we cannot stop it. The stop would be fail. Why? Because we active stop protection. It was in the instance setting and change stop protection. Okay. If we wanna if we wanna do stop our instance again, we have to go to the action and in the instance setting, change the stop protection and disable it. Okay, right now we can stop it again. If we go there, stop, and it shows stop. So right now I wanna resize the EBS volume. We have to stop the instance. And before that, I want to tell you that with the web server instance still selected, we have to choose the storage tab, and then we can select the name of the volume ID, and then we can select the checkbox and next to the volume that is display. So in the action, we go to the modify volume. Mm, in the action menu, select modify volume. It should be stance setting. And okay. So we are in our EC2 and we are in the detail tab. We should go to the storage tab, and in the storage tab right now we want to resize the EBS volume, or we want to change the storage. So we have a one storage that attach. So we click on it, and in this part we should go to the action and modify volume. And if we want to do the modify volume, it's not active. Why? Because our EC2 right now uh is not active. We have to stop our instance. So we have to back and do it again. Hmm. So if we go to our web server, it stopped. So we have to start. It should be a start, I think, because we couldn't do it. We put a start. We have to wait until it starts. It start. So right now we choose the volume ID, and then we select it. We go to the action and we go to the modify volume. And in the modify volume, we can change the size to 10. If the size is 8, I want to change it to 10. And you may restrict it from creating Amazon EBS volume larger than 10 gigabyte in the lab. And then choose modify. Okay, and then again choose the modify. So it changed. So right now we can start instance again that have more memory. Right now have the more memory and more disk space. In the left navigation pane, we choose instance and select a web server. And so we should go to our instance, and I think it's better when we do the change, for example, change the volume or change the type. We have to keep it, um, as a stop. When we put a stop, and then when we restart it, it updates for the type and for the storage. So in the next, so it's better we put a stop. After it stop, we choose the volume ID, and then we choose the action. Because we didn't select the name, because of that we couldn't see that in the action. We have to wait until it changed to a stop. It's not a stop yet. So after that it is stop completely, we can choose it. We can modify it. So right now we wanna explore the EC2 limit. So in the AWS Management Console, in the search box, we want to search for the service service quotas in the, we just want to put service quotas, and what is the service quotas? And we choose AWS service. It's here from navigation menu, and then in the AWS service, find services search bar, and for the EC2, we choose Amazon. We put the EC2, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. So in the find quotas search bar, we search that we have, that one is for the EC2. It's regarding to the EC2. We choose a running on demand. Running running on demand. Yeah, we have a lot of on demand, but not, make a selection instead. We just observe the filter list of service quotas that match the criteria. And there are limits on the number and type of the instance that can run in a region. For example, there is a limit on the number of running on demand standard or instance that we can launch in this region. When we're launching the instance, the request shouldn't cause our usage to exceed the instance limit that the currently defined in that region. So that was for the quotas. Right now I wanna test the stop protection. We did a test. We test the stop protection, and we know right now if we active the stop protection, we cannot uh, stop our instance. I think right now our instance is a stop. It's better we start it. We go to our instance. Yeah, that one is a stop. It's better we start it. We go to the action. Sorry, instance state, and start it. It takes time. And so we have to wait until it starts. So I go and stop the video. Okay, yes, that one starts. So I think we are done for lab today. Today we'll launch a web server with termination protection that we enable. We monitor our EC2 instance. We modify security group, and that our web server is using and allow HTTP access, resize our Amazon EC2 instance, and enable and disable the stop protection and explore EC2 limit. And we do the test the stop protection and stop our EC2 instance. I think we are done for this lab. So I see you in the next video with more work with AWS.